Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second installment of Spotlight for Alzheimer's and the Longest Day. Today, we are talking with Jane. I'm so excited, Jane, for you to join us. And we've got lots of information we want to get from you. And I know that you're excited to share what you're going to do this year. So, Jane, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and tell us who you are and where you're from?
My name is Jane Elam. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I teach high school physical education and coach lots of sports. And I'm excited to support Alzheimer's.
Awesome. That's wonderful. I'm in Omaha too. So this is exciting. We're probably just neighbors if you think about it. What kind of sports do you enjoy? What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport's hockey. And that's kind of where I came up with my longest day fundraiser.
Awesome. Awesome. I love hockey. That is my go-to sport. I go to UNO, I watch all the big games. Those are my
Awesome.
favorite things there. I just love the fighting and well, I don't know about the fighting, but it's fun. It's fun. I do enjoy it. So wonderful. Awesome. So I'm going to assume since you said that this is where you get into your Alzheimer's, you have an event planned. So tell us about your event.
I do. So I've participated with the Rivals Blondes versus Brunettes football game in the past. And going along with that, I came up with the idea to do a Blondes versus Brunettes hockey game. So last year was our first year for it. We did men and women, a co-ed skate, just a one night, one game type deal. And then with that this year, I decided to do another blondes versus brunettes and try to make it a women's only game this year. It filled up within a day with everybody signing up. We have 15 players plus a goalie on each roster. And that game's going to be on April 16th at 7:45 at Grover Ice. And along with posting that, I solicited players all through Facebook. I belong to several hockey groups. And a few men were a little bit jealous they didn't get to play this year. So I also added a men's game that's going to follow the women's game as well. So that's at 9 o'clock right after.
Wow, look at you. That sounds like your basic idea for what you wanted to do has really blossomed, and you've gone from having a co-ed team to two individual women's and men's hockey teams to actually want to support your ultimate goal of ending Alzheimer's, and having that much support in the community is amazing. Wow. I want to thank all your players. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, the hockey community is a pretty amazing place. So
They're tough, they're strong, they're rough, but they can be a little soft and gentle too. I know that. Awesome. Well, then I'm going to ask you, when you do that, I would love to get hockey group photos on the ice of all your players. I think that would be amazing. And then
for
you can
sure.
share them with us on the Longest Day page for Nebraska. And I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to seeing those photos, because I know I am, because being a huge hockey fan, I might have to get one of those jerseys if you're going to sell them.
Well, we don't have jerseys, but I can get you a puck. I can
Hey,
get you
that's
an
perfect.
official
I can put a
Bloods
puck
versus
next to my other pucks.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, here's where we get into some of the sadder times of things, but it's always good to share our stories, to tell people why we do what we do, because everybody has that story to tell, whether it's we've lost somebody or we've cared for somebody, whether they're family or their friend, or if you're just that amazing of a person that you just support the Alzheimer's Association. So Jane, go ahead and tell us your story.
So my story's pretty short and simple. I knew lots of gals that were participating in the Rivals football game. And I was just intrigued by it and wanted to participate. And that was kind of before I really knew a lot about where the money went and all of those types of things. You know, I knew it was a charity game. And once I found out it went to the Alzheimer's Association, I was definitely all in to play. Personally, I haven't been extremely affected by Alzheimer's. I've had several family members, extended family members have Alzheimer's. Um, uh, and my husband's mother actually passed away from Alzheimer's, and I wasn't able to meet her before we met and got married. She had passed away previously, and my husband always talks about he wishes I could have met her, and I wish I could have too. So that's kind of my personal connection, is through my husband's family. I know that they went through a long a long battle with Alzheimer's, and so I like to support in her memory, even though I wasn't able to meet her. So that's kind of my biggest reason why.
Awesome. So you're just in for the good fight, and that's amazing. And
Yes.
I'm so happy that you are just that awesome of a person, that you not only wanted to participate in such an event, but then you went the extra mile and started your own event. And that's the kicker with what I want to share with you and all of our people that are going to be watching this, that you weren't directly affected by it, but you still wanted to have the passion to help out the organization, and you started your own longest day event, and I applaud you for that. So I'm so excited that we can spotlight you, Jane, this week on Spotlight Friday. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. So
It's actually we talked about the hockey community before, but after I had the game last year, I had several people asking, "Hey, are you going to do that fundraiser hockey game again?" And so there's a lot of people that are all in, which is great.
awesome. And I have to say, uh, us Midwesterners are just such loving and caring people. And I'm sure they're all over the world, but I just have noticed that right here in especially Omaha, Nebraska, or just Nebraska in general, we are just such caring people that we just want to be involved with something that means something to someone else. We just throw away our own inhibitions and just give it all for everybody else. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I definitely agree. I do have a specific example of that. We have a gal that played last year in our game, and I just kind of posted it out there. Whoever wanted to sign up, it's basically it's $25 to play in the one-time game. And when you take out the ice fees, all of that, you're basically donating $10, unless I get the ice paid for, which I was very lucky to get Firehouse Subs this year. Is sponsoring my ice time. So that way the full $25 can go to the Alzheimer's Association. But after the game, we kind of all got together and went out and kind of celebrated. And one of the gals on the teams that scored a goal told me that her grandmother had just passed away from Alzheimer's. And she thanked me for hosting the game and said that she was so grateful that she got to play and score a goal and tell me about how much it meant to her. And that brings even more value to it, and makes it even more worthwhile to kind of get that personal connection from people that are participating in your event as well. So
Absolutely. And it's the stories that carry us through what we do. And I just love hearing other people's stories, to hear what they had to go through and the hope and promise that they're trying to achieve as well. And thank you for sharing that someone else was also part of your group, that that's the key that I always want to hit with people. You don't know who has been affected by this, and they may join your
right.
team and then they tell you their story. So they're all hidden out there somewhere, and it sounds like you, Jane, are literally pulling them out of the woodwork, which is awesome. Good for you. So Jane, tell us, what's your goal this year? Do you have a particular number that you're trying to get to, or do you just have a basic goal in mind? What's your goal?
My goal is to raise $1,000 through the Rivals campaigns that I've done in the past. Our goal is to always raise 500. And last year's hockey game, I think raised, I don't remember, it was somewhere like $700 or $800. And so I thought that would up that this year a little bit, especially in the times that we're in. I mean, the nonprofits are suffering, same as everybody's suffering. And so I kind of wanted to up that a little bit and shoot for $1,000, especially with having a men's game and a women's game. So
Absolutely. And it sounds like you are in line with getting that, maybe even more. Awesome.
I hope
Awesome.
so.
Awesome. All right, so this is my favorite part. This is where we get to ask our spotlight people what their fight song is, what their giant slogan that they want to use to kind of individualize who they are and what they're doing for the association. So Jane, I'm going to ask you right now, what is your fight song?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure if I'm creative enough to come up with something on the spot for that. But I do have when we play our game, I made like a giant banner and I put I skate for, and then I let people write that were participating in the game write on it who they're skating for, and so I kind of think that that goes along with my fight song because everybody that stepped on the ice that night skated for those people that were affected, and there was actually quite a few names on that list that I wasn't expecting it to be that outreaching and get that far. So I thought that that was pretty cool. So I guess that would kind of be my slogan is just the ice skate for and let the people that are participating in my event fill in the blank.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's amazing. So Jane is skating for, and then you get to input the name of the person who you're skating for. That's absolutely amazing. I love that slogan. It's open-ended, but you know that there's going to be a closing to it because somebody's going to put a name down, which is so sad and so personal at times. But how powerful for you to be able to give everybody a chance to skate for their loved one. Awesome. I love that. That's absolutely amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Jane so much for coming on this week's Spotlight Friday. And we got to spotlight what I would have to say so far is one of our amazing people here in the state of Nebraska. So here's to you, spotlight on Jane. Is there anything else that you want to say, Jane, or let anyone else out there know?
I just wanted to say thanks for having me. I guess the biggest thing I like about the longest day is that you can take something that you like and make it's something that's already fun and make it, go to something greater. So I just encourage everybody else to do that.
Awesome. Awesome. And you can actually find out all that information either by getting a hold of any of us here at the association or any of the volunteers that are running around out there, or you can go to alz.com/TL, TLD. There we go. www.alz.com/TLD. And you can find all of that. Go register your team. And all I would love to say is thank you again, Jane, for coming in. Go ahead and find us on the web. Go in, Google Alzheimer's Association Longest Day. The page will pop up. Registration button is right there. Click it and it'll walk you right through. It's so easy to do and so fun to do. And I can see that Jane has fun skating for to end Alzheimer's. And that is our spotlight this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, Jane. I appreciate it so much. It was so fun talking to you. And I can't wait to see you. Absolutely, absolutely. And I can't wait to see who we have next week. So stick around while we hear a few words from the Alzheimer's Association all about the longest day.
The longest day is the day with the most light, the summer solstice. On June 20th, help us stand up to the darkness of Alzheimer's by raising funds for the care, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association. It's easy. Pick any activity you enjoy and turn it into a fundraiser to fight Alzheimer's. From bowling to basketball and card games to crafts, any activity can be part of the longest day. Your family, friends, colleagues, and the Alzheimer's Association are here to support you along the way. Together, we can get closer to our ultimate goal, the first survivor of Alzheimer's. The day with the most light is the day we fight. Start now. Select your activity at alz.org/thelongestday.